Hey guys, welcome back to Creativity and Inspiration. I'm Lisa. Today we are here to talk about flow journals. What is a flow journal, how you can make one, and we are just going to jump in because this is super fun. I love flow journals. They are my favorite type of flow journal. I used to be in a group that traded them all the time, and I guess the group just kind of fell apart. We should bring back flow journals for sure. I have 3 that I'm going to show you today, and as you can see, they are basically 3 different sizes, but they're all very, very similar. And we're going to start with this beautiful pink one that's the largest. And the member that I traded this with was on a member of my channel at one point, and if she's still here, she's probably going to look at this and go, "You still have that? You haven't taken it apart?" And it's like, well, no, because the pink has inspired my home decor. And I just love looking through it. It's just all the pink stuff in the world, and I love it. So, no, I haven't taken it apart, but maybe one day I will. So, what is a flow journal? As you can see, it is a journal that is not stitched together at all. The pieces are maybe tied in, or they're just stuffed into like a big folder, a big cover of some sort. And when you open it up, you just have tons of junk journal goodness. And I mean, this one is really filled, and we have all sorts of stuff. We have a playing card. We have just different types of paper with texture on them. I can't think of the word. I will. Another playing card. We have cardboard. We have just bits of different types of paper, wallpapers, scrapbook papers, cards, magazine pages. I mean, it's just stuffed full. And she even put an extra pocket in here. That's mine. She even put an extra pocket in here, but you can see it's just papers. It's gorgeous, different types of papers and bags and ribbons and lace. And that's what a flow journal is. It's just everything you would make a junk journal out of. You're basically giving the person that you're switching with everything to go make a junk journal. And you see it's got like all this napkins and, like I said, wallpapers. You know what's something funny? This was in a house I lived in the 80s. That's hilarious. And you just, tissue papers, you just give the people everything it is to put a journal together. You can put bling, ribbons, anything you have that you want to put in the journal, you put in there. Tags, cards, anything, and then they'll take what you give them and go make their own journal. Or maybe you'll put together one for yourself today and just stick it in a drawer, and then later when you're in a funk, you can go pull it out of your drawer and be like, "Oh, look, I made myself a flow journal. Now I have everything to build a journal. Let's go build one." That's what they're for. They're giving you all the supplies. You take it and you build a journal. Or like I said, maybe you do it for yourself. Okay, the next one is going to be the littlest one. And this one, I'll flip it over, is stuffed full of stuff too. It has ribbons. It has some beads on it. It has tons of fun papers. Look at that beautiful Mother's Day paper. Look at all this good junk journal stuff. And it has an embossed, that is the word, embossed tag in here, which is beautiful. You make pockets so you can stick the stuff in. This is just a piece of paper that's folded into a pocket. I mean, you can see there's images. There's just all sorts. That's a postcard, napkins, papers, pattern paper, fabrics. There's just so much. And you've got tags, you've got fun words, you've got flashcards. Just a little bit of everything in here. And this one's 2 signatures. And why is it 2 signatures? Because the person who gave this to me made it into 2 signatures. And there's all sorts of paper for pockets. I mean, these are just such beautiful. There's paper bags. There's, paper, music paper. Everything in here I need to make a journal. Guest tags, wax paper, everything. See, it's full. And I love it. And it's got paper clips and beads, just tons of stuff. I love the butterfly. The last one, I actually have taken some stuff out of this one. That's why it's not so full. But again, we've got fun stuff like a London downtown train map. You can put actual junk in these if you want to, if you know the person that you're swapping with likes junk. But everything has stuff in it. Look, they sent me a little cluster, washi tape, more ribbons, yarns on a big card. Everything is meant towards the goal of building a junk journal. And here's the one deal. There used to be a group over on Rosemary's site. I can't think of the name, but it was true junk journals. You sent magazine pages, you sent food wrappers, everything that would make a junk journal that was true junk. And then of course you could send a few other things. But look, this person even sent me a little notebook that they covered themselves. How cute is that? So this one also was full of cool stuff. I have pulled some stuff out of this one. But yeah. So a flow journal is basically a journal that's not finished. It's all the components for a journal, but it's not actually made into a journal. And what's the purpose? Well, like I said, you could put a flow journal together and gift it to someone, or you could put a flow journal together and keep it so when you're in a funk or you don't know what to do, pull it out. Maybe it would get the creative juices flowing. Maybe it would inspire you. What goes into a junk journal? What goes into a flow journal? Well, that's the part we're getting into next. And I think this part's almost as fun as just looking at them. So what goes into a flow journal is all the same stuff that goes into a junk journal. Oh, look at that catch. That was slick. You can have stickers. You can have book pages. You can have little bits of fabric, something you've sewn or something you found. You could have packaging. This would make a great pocket, the Stubbs candy thing. You can have a napkin. You can have flashcards, paper bags, pieces of cardboard, tickets, tags, anything you have in your stash. This was off some clothes, and I just think it's really cool. Papers, different types of papers. You can have coffee stain paper. You can have plain papers. You can have scrapbook papers. You can have tissue paper. You can have stuff from Chili's. You can have old postcards. You can have guest checks. Envelopes or pockets that you've made out of a book page. Random pieces of paper in your stash. Flowers. Tags. Maps. Railway cards. Recipe cards. More tags. A folder. You can have window envelopes. You can have magazine pages, and of course you can have scrapbook paper. So you can have anything you have around you that you would normally make a journal signature and was a journal signature. A journal signature is just the pages in your journal. So anything you would put in your journal, you put in a flow journal, but you're just putting the components. You're not making it pretty, and you're not putting it together. So let's make a flow journal. Oh, something else. Wrapping paper, gift wrap. Perfect for a flow journal. So let's make a flow journal together. I'm going to get a file folder and some more stuff, more papers, more stuff to put in it, and I will be right back. Okay guys, so as you can see, I found a lot of stuff to put in my flow journal. Who's going to, first thing when you're putting together a flow journal, are you participating in some groups? You know, flow journal switch. Are you doing one with a friend or a fellow crafter? Or are you making one for yourself? Because I'm sure when I was in the group and we were, you know, trading flow journals, you had to follow guidelines. There were guidelines set out. It had to be so many pages included. It had to be a certain size, all of that. So all of that will factor into why are you making a flow journal. Now, this one that I'm making here, and I keep dropping everything, is for me alone. So there's no size, there's no page number or any of that. What I'm going to do is make a flow journal big enough that when I'm stuck in a rut, I can pull this out and get inspired. So that's what I'm doing. Maybe you and a friend have talked, or you're in a group and you're going to trade flow journals. And that's awesome. So since it's for me, it probably won't be as big as it would be if I was doing it to trade with an actual person. And a lot of these papers that you see I have came from an estate sale. Not an estate sale, thrift store. Sorry, they came from a thrift store. These folders came from an estate sale, but all the papers came from the thrift store. Oh, I've got some art in here, sorry. I pulled some papers and like all this art stuff came out. So, wrong channel, wrong day. Okay. So we've got, let's see. This is going to be my cover. So I'm going to set that aside for a minute. And I'm going to get a piece of all this paper. Look, I've got this right here. So we're just going to unfold it and use it as my paper. I'm good with that. Then I got this at an estate sale for $2. And we're just going to take a piece out. Good luck if you can tear better than me. Okay. And I'm going to use one of these. These are recipes out of a recipe book that fell apart. Alright, so those are my pages. Fold those in half. Then I'm going to use this piece of fireworks. I'm going to use this card. Again, all this is from estate sales, thrift stores. Now, this is some paper I dyed in blue food coloring. So, I do want to include some of it because if y'all don't know, ice blue is going to be one of the colors this year. Just so you know. Okay, so I got several pieces of that. I'm going to include this. I'm going to include this piece of paper. I think it's like wrapping paper or something. And I'm going to make this a pocket. So I'm going to turn it inside out. You can make a pocket out of any of the papers you can make a pocket out of, or a folder out of any of the papers you are including in yours. Okay. And then I'm going to bring this stuff and put it in here. And then I'm going to put it in there. And then on the other side, I'm going to put some guest checks, postcard, all of that, like that. And then we will, let's see here. Okay, we're gonna take some of this map. Yes, I'm just ripping it. Okay. And then I'm going to open it up. And I'm going to fold it in half like this. And I'm going to put it right here. And then I'm going to put some rub-on tattoos, some flowers in here, and then I'm gonna kind of fold it like that, and then we're gonna put some tissue paper and this odd paper right here. We'll just fold it over, and then I'm gonna stick all of this stuff into the bag. So I'm just going to open up half the bag and stick it in there like that. And then I've got these envelopes. Let's see what we got here. Some tags, a folder. I'm going to put the folder in the bag. You can make more pockets if you want, whatever works for you. And then the recipe card. And then I'm going to get a piece of the magazine. And I'm going to fold that over everything. That's a page in my signature. Okay, now that's a pretty good journal right there. We're going to add in our tickets, and you could add in some more of this if you wanted to. You could cut a piece of this if you wanted to. You can cut a piece of wrapping paper to go around it all, if that works for you. Let's see. Let's do that right there. And I'm just going to rip it like that. And then I'm going to fold it in half again across the bottom. And then fold it in half like that. Okay, I'm going to get my signature here, put it in there, and then I'm going to fold this over a little bit like that. And then I'm going to fold this back part over. Same way. Just like that. And boom. There is my signature. I can add in a couple of these if I wanted to. Kind of boring. Let's see if we can find something a little more pretty in here. No, I don't see anything in there I want to add. I could add one of these. So I might add a president in. And I'm going to put the napkin and the president in this one right here, just like it is. Okay, and there we go. I could include this dove. I could probably put the whole thing in the dove envelope if I wanted to. I could include that. I could include this pretty fabric thing, stickers, book pages if I wanted to. But here is a good start on a signature for a flow journal. Now, you could do 2 of these. You might have to do 2 of these if you're trading in a group. They might say you need so many tags, so many journaling cards, and you just have to see what the group requires if you're trading in a group. Again, this is for me, so I can tie it all together with some ribbon, and that would be my... There's the center. I could tie some ribbon through the center right here. And then put it in some type of cover. That would be my flow journal to myself. Again, if I was going to trade with another person, I would add a lot more to this. But I wanted to give you guys an idea of how a flow journal works and how it's put together. Of course, like in the examples, you can add brads, you can add paper clips, you can add beads, charms, whatever you want to make yours special for who you are trading with. You can also add special things so when you use it yourself, you'll have inspiration. Okay. Got this pretty folder here, and for a junk journal cover, I would definitely fold it like that. I would want this so I could hook any charms to it, tassels if I wanted to. I could write on it, you know, what my journal is, so if it's on a bookshelf, I could see it. And then, of course, I would probably stitch it all up and everything, but this could be the cover for my flow journal. And again, I would probably include this, a lot of book pages, stickers, and other goodies. But you get the idea that that's how you put together a flow journal. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this video about flow journals. I hope you put one together with me as I was building mine. And let me know, are you going to trade yours? Do you have somebody that you want to trade with? Have you ever traded a flow journal before? Definitely let me know down in the comments. Take care, guys, and have an awesome rest of your day. Don't forget, like, comment, share, and subscribe. Bye, guys.